In this activity, you're going to explore the different ways that speciation can happen and look at some examples of reproductive isolation. So in this first example, describes allopatric speciation, or another way of saying allopatric speciation is geographic isolation. You're going to read this little excerpt about allopatric speciation, and then there's an example of the finches in the Galapagos, and you're going to identify the geographic barriers that could have led to the speciation in the finches. Next, you're going to look at the different reproductive isolating mechanisms. So there are all these examples of different reproductive barriers. What you're going to do is go to this link here, and what it does is it pulls up a slide deck with some examples of different types of reproductive barriers. So what you're going to do is you're going to click through the slides. You're going to read about the different animal. You're going to explain how they became isolated and then what changes occurred in the population. I will say that this slide deck also includes some plant examples, but since this is a class on animals and not plants, you can skip over the plant examples. Then what you're going to do is you're going to categorize these different examples as reproductive isolation, temporal isolation, or behavioral isolation. You can just list the names of the animals that best fits the different example. And finally, you're going to look at another example of sympatric speciation with an example of these flies. Some of these lay eggs on hawthorns, others lay eggs on apples, and they tend to pick wherever they were born to lay their eggs. So if a fly was born on an apple, it'll lay its eggs on an apple. If a fly was born on a hawthorn tree, then it would lay its eggs on a hawthorn tree. And after you read this, you're going to brainstorm what kind of data you would need to gather from the flies to determine if evolution or speciation was occurring in the groups. So think about the different evidence, types of evidence for evolution that we use. You might want to review that Edpuzzle and that lesson from a few days ago to help you figure this out. And then finally, you're going to describe how reproductive isolation differs in sympatric and allopatric modes of speciation. You need to write at least 5 sentences in this last section. And as you're writing, refer to the specific examples of animals that you watched in either of the 2 Edpuzzle videos or in the interactive activity that you did earlier here. If you have any questions, please send me an email.